Hello everyone and welcome to the news for week 33 in 2026. We have a few things, let's get to it. Do you want to charge for free? Of course you do. And how can you do that? With ENH. ENH is an app, and when you are at a charger, you rate the charger, give some information about the charger, can you charge there with a trailer attached and stuff like this. And for this you get kilometers and stars, and these you can exchange for charging credit. Use the link in the description below to get 20 kilometers to start with. Sono Motors and many years ago, Sono Motors presented the Xeon. It was an electric car, very small, with a lot of solar panels outside. So they thought if it's in the sun, then we can get energy into the battery. And then on really great days, you just drive to your work for nothing. So for free, which is amazing. And they ended the production of the electric car in early 2023. And then they continued with working on solar solutions. But now they are bankrupt and they're ending everything, which is very sad. It was a German company based in Munich, and once I almost drove a Xeon. Again, it was at the time where the Hyundai Kona came out and stuff like this. It was never a great car spec wise, but price wise I think it was around 16,000 euros, but sadly it never came to fruition. And that's how we get to the next car, the solar car. In the Clemson University in South Carolina, United States, 16 master students were working for a few years on a special designed electric car with special solar panels on it. And this is the first car. It has been tested in South Carolina, has been tested in Frankfurt, in Germany, and in Spain. And what it could do is that on a 20-kilometer day trip, it could charge 50 kilometers of range into the car. That means it's producing more energy than it needs to get somewhere, which is so cool. And this is not including the parking. It's the drive, the 20-kilometer drive, how much energy gets it back into the battery. Of course, this is done in a sunny day, and I'm sure in the summer, not in the winter. But still amazing. So it's a very, very efficient car. The car only weighs 550 kilograms. There are 1700 solar cells. The car is called Deep Orange. The form, okay, it's not very round, but I guess this is so way easier to put the solar panels on. If it's round, it's a bit harder. You have to use special ones that can bend, and then maybe they don't produce enough energy. And so, yes, you lose a bit. You have higher consumption since it's not round, but the solar panels produce more. But really amazing, good job. AMG GT entry level. We've seen the car that Mercedes has presented with amazing power, amazing charging, really good range, and now there's an entry level version as well. Four-door coupe, the GT53 has 400 kilowatt, 800 newtons meters, takes 3.9 seconds to 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, 800 kilometers of double LTP range, has a 106 kilowatt hour battery, can charge with up to the peak of 600 kilowatt, 10 to 80% takes 11 minutes, amazing. And the starting price for this car is 115,000 euros. That's a lot of money, but you also get a really, really sports car. This is something special. BMW ads in the car. Oh my God, the community has outraged, especially BMW owners, of the new Neue Klasse car, the iX350, the car that I had 2 weeks ago to test, because there was an ad for the new Spider-Man movie came up. It was just popping up, and if you press that, you got a 20-second animation. And BMW was all, oh come on, it's just a little thing. But people were like, what the hell? Why do I get advertising in a 75,000 euro car? What is this? And we've seen that with Volkswagen too, where when you drive, you get, hey, why don't you get a coffee there? I've seen advertising there. I haven't gotten that anymore. But I haven't driven, my car is not connected to the internet, but I haven't driven an ID.7, a newer one. We'll see if this still exists. But I know that you can turn it off. You can say, no, I don't want any advertising. You can do that. Hopefully in the BMW as well. Skoda Peaq production. Yes, it has started in the Czech Republic. The starting price is 50,000 euros. It's a gigantic SUV 7-seater. There's very high demand. So far 8,500 cars have been ordered, and they're blind orders. They haven't seen the car and they haven't driven the car, which is so cool. Right now, all over production for Skoda, 23% of their cars are electric cars. The Peaq should have its real world premiere, so driving in the next few months, and then comes to the customers end of this year or beginning of next year. And the same for the BMW i3. The series production in Munich in Germany has started. They have redefined the whole production process in Munich. It's now 10% more cost effective to produce an EV than it was before, but they also invested a few billion euros. But really cool. Car will come very soon in the next few months. At this facility from 2027 on, only EVs will be built. The i350 will come as a first edition for 75,000 euros, but the base price, if you don't get the first edition, is 66,000 euros. But of course, then there's nothing in there. More pictures from the Audi A2 e-tron. We already know a few things based on the new MEB platform. So with all the features we know from the new ID3 Neo, ID7, ID4 with ID software 6.0 and upwards, so vehicle to load and everything. The new batteries, and it also will have the same motors and batteries than the ID3 Neo has as well. I mean, it's the same car, just a bit different design and Audi, but it is way more efficient. They have really worked on the efficiency. That's why it has 649 kilometers of double LTP range. I don't know what the Neo has with the big battery that will come out later, but I don't think it's 649, but still very, very cool. Ford Fathom, I hope I say that right. It's an electric pickup truck, mid-size, that Ford will be presenting very soon. The starting price is 30,000 euros with an LFP battery, most likely a small battery and not a lot of range, but still it's a pickup truck and it's not gigantic, it's normal size. Ford planned before do a big pickup truck, but they have scratched that and now it's a mid-sized one. 4-door, and the car will also come to Europe at some point. And the last thing, the German EV numbers. But before that, I have also other countries. In Denmark, in July, 97% of new registered cars for private owners were electric cars. In Norway, almost 98%. And the interesting part are the cars. In 2026, the most registered car in Norway is the Toyota BZ4X. I never see that car here, and I think in Germany almost no one has this car. Then the ID4, then the Toyota Urban Cruiser. Interesting. But in Germany, I have the numbers for July 2026 and then for the whole year. In July, the Elroq is again on number 1 with 3,500 cars. The ID7 just behind it with 3,250 cars. Then the ID4 5 and then the BMW iX1. Here are all the numbers. Tesla is as usual up and down when it comes to end of quarter and beginning of the next quarter, where Tesla Model Y was the most delivered car in June because it was the end of the quarter. In July, only 300 cars were registered, which is a tenth or less, 5% of what it was in June. And which is very typical, by the way. And in whole 2026, still number 1 is the Elroq with 24,000 cars, then the ID3 with a bit over 20,000 cars, and then the Tesla Model Y with exactly 20,000 cars. And some news about the channel. Yesterday the Smart #5 rear-wheel drive came with the big battery, so very efficient but still amazing charging. And next week I'm gonna take the week off, so no news next week. And there will be an update very soon because I updated my solar panels. I have now more battery capacity and I have double the solar panels. Very cool. But that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.